Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. My name is Chinmaya and in this video, I'm going to demonstrate how you can create cross-references in LibreOffice Writer. Cross-referencing, which is frequently used in academic writing, is a very handy feature, particularly in large documents, and can save you a lot of frustration. Sadly, not many people invest time in familiarizing themselves with this wonderful feature and using it on a regular basis. So let's start by quickly understanding what exactly is a cross-reference and how it is different from hyperlinks and bookmarks. And after this quick conceptual review, I will show you how to insert cross-references in LibreOffice Writer. So let's start. So let's start with a hyperlink, a term that all of us are familiar with. A hyperlink typically points the reader to another document or source that is outside your current document, the document on which you are working. So let's say, for example, I'm working on this particular document and I want to create a hyperlink at this particular point in my document. So when I click on this text, I will be led to a source that is outside my document, like a web page. If I create a hyperlink here, I will be again led to a source that is outside my document, like a Wikipedia page or any other online link. I can also create a hyperlink, which when clicked can open another document. So the important point here is that a hyperlink typically takes you to a source that is not inside your document but outside your document. Even though you can create a hyperlink to take you at a place inside your document, but that's not what hyperlinks are typically used for. So if I could use an analogy, a hyperlink is just like an aeroplane that can fly you from your city to another city. So this is what a hyperlink basically does. It points you to sources that are outside your document. A cross-reference, on the other hand, is pointing the reader to another part inside the same document. So let's say, for example, if I have a 6-page document right here, and at this particular point in my document, I want to refer my reader to jump to page 6 and have a look at this particular figure. I can insert a cross reference right here, and when I click on this cross reference, it will just simply transport me to page 6 inside my document and show my reader this particular figure. Likewise, if I am at another location inside my document and I want my readers to quickly go and have a look at this table, I can then create or insert a clickable cross reference that is going to take me from that particular location to this table, and my readers can very quickly go and have a look at this particular table even though they have read it before. If I'm using this reference at a later stage in my document, I can easily transport them from this particular location. They can click and they can reach this particular table. And also, say for example, if I'm here somewhere in this particular text and I want my readers to go back and have a look at another section inside the document, I can very quickly create a cross reference that will transport them to this particular section of the document. They can always come back and keep reading forward. So a cross reference, unlike a hyperlink, is a clickable text that takes you to another part of the same document. So if I was to continue with the analogy, a cross reference would be like a taxi that would take you from point A to point B, or one location to another location within your city. Finally, let's have a look at bookmark. A bookmark just creates a named location inside a document that can actually be reached. So let's say, for example, I have this document, I'm working on this particular document, and from here I want to reach this paragraph. So I want to jump from here to this particular paragraph. Now my problem is that if this was a figure, I could say that go to figure 1. If this was a table, I could say go to table 1. If this was a heading, I could say go to heading 1. But in this particular case, it is just simply plain text. I do not really know where to go. So in this particular case, what I can do is I can just simply insert a bookmark here and give it a name. Let's say I call it P1, and then I can insert another bookmark at a different location, and I can insert as many bookmarks as I want. And once I have these bookmarks, I can use a cross reference to reach these bookmarks because they are now named locations inside my document. So if we were to continue with the same analogy, you will see on this map that there are places which are having names, so people can easily navigate to these places from here to there. But what happens if you want to reach a place like this as shown by the arrow? Well, on a map, you just simply drop a place mark and give it a name, and then you can go to that particular location. Say, for example, if you are using Google Maps, you can then say, I want to go from here to Wonky Farm. So this is what a bookmark basically does. So in summary, a hyperlink basically creates clickable text in your document that leads you to sources or places outside your document. A cross-reference creates clickable text in your documents just like a hyperlink, but the difference is that it leads you to places inside your document. And a bookmark is a place in your document that you have marked and named. And because you have marked and named that particular place, you can actually use a cross-reference to reach that particular place inside your document. So with this little background out of the way, let's now head to LibreOffice and see how we can insert and use cross-references inside our document. Now, before we move forward, I would like to mention that if you haven't tried LibreOffice before, please go to the website www.libreoffice.org and you can download LibreOffice for Windows, Linux, or Mac. LibreOffice is completely free and open source. So if you haven't tried LibreOffice before, I invite you to give it a try. Now for this tutorial, I'm using the latest version of LibreOffice, which is LibreOffice 7.5 as on the date of recording this video. But if you have some older version, everything that I'm going to talk about today, you can easily do in older versions as well. Also, if you're missing these tabs right here, as you see on my screen, all you need to do is to click on View, click on User Interface, and then make sure that tab is selected, as you can see on the screen, and then just go ahead and press Apply to Writer. So when you do that, you will see these tabs, and people transitioning from Microsoft Word to LibreOffice Writer will find a very familiar user interface inside LibreOffice Writer. So let's now see how we can insert cross-references. I have created a sample document here, and I have styled this document. You will notice that all headings are in heading 1. All figures are properly captioned. And the text that I have used inside this document, I'm using this text just as a placeholder, and I have just copied and pasted this text from the climate change pages of Wikipedia. So all headings are properly styled as heading 1 or heading 2, as the case may be. Figures are properly captioned, tables are properly numbered, and this document has about 20 pages. Now let me show you why cross-references can be very useful in large documents. Let us say I'm writing this report or a long article or a dissertation, and let us say at this point, I want my readers to have a look at figure 3. So this is figure 2 and figure 3 is on the next page. So what I would do normally is to just simply come here and just write inside brackets see figure 3 below. Now many people do this on a routine basis. The problem here is that the reader has to now scroll down and look for figure 3. So that's okay. The person just comes down and looks at figure 3 and says, oh, this is figure 3. And then they will go back and continue reading. But just see what happens if at some later stage we insert another figure at this location that is above figure 2. So I'm going to come to insert and go to image and then just insert a figure right here and caption it. So this is now figure 2, and as we scroll down, the figure that we were pointing the reader to has now become figure 4. But if we go back again to the text, you will find that what we had written, of course, would remain exactly the same. We wanted people to actually now go to figure 4, but the text that we have mentioned here is actually pointing to the wrong figure. Also, this is not clickable. So I will now have to go down and keep looking for figure 3, which is obviously now the wrong figure. And this is the figure I wanted people to actually go to. So this is a problem that many people face when they refer to other parts of the same document. Now this problem is exactly what cross-referencing tries to solve. So let's try to see this, and I'm going to revert back to my original document by undoing the changes that I have just made. So I'm going to get rid of this figure, and I'm back again to my normal text. My figure is now back again to figure 3. So this time around, I'm just going to come here and say see figure 3, and instead of typing 3, I'm going to come to references and click on cross-reference. This is also available from insert, and you can have cross-reference right here, and you can also click on the insert menu and choose cross-reference. References seems to be the most intuitive option for me. So you can choose cross-reference from any of these places. I'm going to come to a reference and click on cross-reference. Just notice that my cursor is blinking here. So I'm on reference and click on cross-reference. And what I'm going to now do is to click on figure in this box. So you will see all the figures in my document available here. And I can come and click on figure 3 in this particular box because that is where I want my readers to go to. And in this final box, you can choose what is going to appear at that particular spot. So in this particular case, I want the number of the figure to appear. So I'm going to come here and click on numbering, and then I will just go ahead and press insert. So you will see that 3 has been added or inserted in front of figure, and this 3 is actually a field, and LibreOffice Writer can now keep a track of this particular number. If something changes, this number will automatically change, and you don't have the hassle to search for such kind of text inside your document and manually keep changing it. There's more. You can just move forward and then go back again to references and click on references, and then go to figure, click on figure 3. We are doing the exact same thing, but we want one other piece of text if we were thinking of writing above or below. So instead of numbering this time, we can come and click on this particular option, above or below, and press insert. Make sure that the figure is the same figure that you are wanting your readers to go to. And I'm going to come here and press insert. And you will see now that the word below has been added, and we can now safely close our bracket. Now, as you have entered your cross references, you will see that these cross references are shaded in gray. And if you're not able to see this gray shading, you can just come to view and just click on field shadings. You will see a little check mark here, which is currently visible. If you click on it once again, the shadings will disappear, and you can come back to view and click on field shadings, and the field shadings will reappear. So there are two advantages to referring to something like this. One is that it becomes clickable. So you can just click 3 or below, and it will immediately take you to that particular location. I will also tell you how you can go back to your original location in a short while. But then the point here is that this is clickable. And let us say now if we enter another figure like we did before. So I'm going to go back again and repeat the exact same operation, insert image, and I'm going to come down here and choose the image, and then just simply right click and caption it. So this figure now becomes figure 2, and all other figures are appropriately renumbered. This becomes figure 3 and this becomes figure 4. But just look at what has happened here, and you can see that the figure number that we were pointing to has now changed correctly to figure 4. When we click on this, we reach the exact same figure as we were doing before. This change has been automatically made by LibreOffice Writer, and you don't have to worry about manually correcting it anymore. You can also click on below and reach the exact same figure. Now, another advantage is that, let us say, for example, if for some reason you just simply pick up this text and move it at a location below this figure, and I'm just going to come here, this is my figure 4, and I'm going to just simply drop that paragraph right here, and you will see that the figure is now above this particular line. So the below has also been changed to above. So if you move text or if you move figures around, the below will change to above, or the above will change to below. So if I was to just simply undo this and go back again, the above has now become below. So LibreOffice Writer keeps track of all such references, and whenever you make changes inside your document, like recaption your figures or insert new figures or move blocks of text around, you will always have the correct numbering and the correct reference to these figures. So this is the power of using cross references rather than just simply going ahead and typing such kind of references inside your document. So this was about figures. You can just simply go to reference, cross reference, and whenever you want to jump to a figure inside your document, just click on figure, and all the figures inside your document will be visible, and you can then just simply choose what you want to insert. Usually it could be numbering, it could be above, below, it could also be a page number. See figure 3 below on page number. You can come back again and insert the page number as well. So this is where you can choose what goes inside your document, and then just simply go ahead and press insert, and that cross reference will be entered inside your document. We will also quickly see now how we can insert a few other cross references to numbered paragraphs and tables and other places inside a document which are commonly referenced. Now let's see how we can cross-reference a table. It is exactly in the same way as we have cross-referenced the figure before. Let's say I'm on page 6 in this document, as you can see here, and I want to make my reader look at a table which is on page 18 in this document. Let me show that particular table to you. So I'm going to click here on this and then just simply type in the page number that I want to go to, that is 18. So you will see that on page number 18, I have this table, table 3, and I want my reader to jump from page number 6 to this particular table inside my document. So let's go back to page number 6, and I will just simply come here and say see table, and I'm going to come to references, cross reference, and instead of choosing figure, I will choose table, and I will choose a numbering, and I'm going to come here and click on table 3. You can experiment with some of these as well, but then these are the common options that people choose. Once I've chosen my correct table, I can just come here and click on insert. So table 3 has been inserted as a field, and I can just simply close this particular bracket here. Now, when I click on this, you will see that the cursor has changed to a hand with a pointy finger. So when I click on this, I'm immediately transported to table 3 on page 18. So I've made a jump from page 6 to page 18. And of course, my reader would now like to go back to page 6. So what you can do here is you can switch on the navigator in LibreOffice, and you can switch on the navigator in two ways. One is you can just press the function key F5. So I'm going to do that, function key F5, and you will see the navigator pane in your document. Press function key F5 once again and the navigator disappears, or otherwise you can just simply click on view and click on navigator. You will see that the navigator pane appears again. In this particular drop down here, you can just click on this and choose recency. And once you have chosen recency, you can just come here and click on this arrow, and you will be taken back to your original place from where you jumped to that particular cross reference. So I'm going to do this once again. Here on page 6, I have created a cross reference for a table. I'm going to click on this. It takes me to page 18, as you can see here. I will have a look at this, and I want to now go back again. I have already chosen recency. I'm going to come back here and click on this particular button, and I'm taken back and I can continue with my reading. We can also create a keyboard shortcut to go back to the original place from where we clicked the link. So to create a keyboard shortcut to go back to the point from where you have clicked a cross reference, you can come to tools and then click on customize, and then there are many tabs out here. You have to click on the keyboard tab and then just simply scroll down and try to find the keyboard set that says alt. So we are going to go down and keep looking for, so this is the alt set starting, and we'll go down and we are looking for alt left. So here you can see that we have reached alt left, and we will click on this particular shortcut key, alt plus left arrow key. Now in this particular box, we will just choose navigate. So we will click on this, and what this does basically is that it shortens the list of what is available inside the function box. We are now looking only at the navigate functions inside this particular box. Now make sure that you have selected back. So just come, click on back. It also happens to be the first option. So once all this has been selected, you can then come and click on modify, and you will see here that the alt plus the left arrow key will now be assigned this particular keyboard shortcut. So whenever somebody presses this alt plus left key, they will be taken back to the point from where they had clicked that particular cross reference. So I'm going to come here and now click on modify, and you will see that back now appears here. This has been assigned to alt plus left, and all that we need to do now is to just simply go ahead and press OK. So when you do this, you can now come and click on this particular cross reference. You are taken to that reference, but this time around, instead of choosing anything from the navigation pane, we will press the alt button and then also press the left arrow key, and we are brought back again to that very same point from where we had clicked this particular cross reference. Microsoft Word has the exact same key combination for returning back to that particular point from which the cross reference was clicked. Also, when you save this file as a PDF and view it inside the PDF viewer, like the Adobe Acrobat or the free and open source Sumatra PDF or any other PDF reader for that matter, you will have the exact same key combination available to you. When you click on a cross reference, you can always press alt and the left key to come back to this particular point and continue reading your text forward from that point. We can use the exact same technique to cross-reference equations. Many times people have equations inside their document and they want to cross-reference equations. So in this document, I have two dummy equations, and the equation is on page 14. So I can just come here and use the exact same technique, see equation, and what I'm going to do now is to go ahead and click on cross-reference, and you will notice that there's nothing that says equation. So we will have to click on text, and when you click on text, you will see two equations right here. So I want my readers to go to equation number 2, and all I need is the number of that equation. So I'm going to click on numbering and then just simply go ahead and press insert. So for equations, you have to choose text, then choose the number of equation, and then just go ahead and click on numbering. You can also then later add above or below, as I have shown before. So just go ahead and press insert, and you will see that equation number 2 has been added. You can now click on this and it will directly take you to that particular equation. Of course, you can always click on this and go back to the point from where you jump to that particular part of the document. So you can see how easy it is to refer to equations inside your document. Just simply go to references, click on cross reference, and click on text, choose your equation, and then click on numbering. So just go ahead and press insert. So you can see how easy it is to refer to equations inside your document. We can use the same technique to jump to any section of the document as well. Just simply reach the place where you want to add the cross reference. So we can click on reference, cross reference, and this time around we will choose headings, and you will see all the headings that are inside your document appear here if they have been styled properly. And we can then choose a section where we want to send our readers to. So let us say, for example, if I wanted to send them to this particular section, I'm going to choose this, and then I can choose one of these options. Let me just simply come here and choose number full context and go ahead and press insert. You can try some of these as well, but then this is a common thing to do. And then just simply close. So you will see that we have a number here. So we can just simply say C section. We already have entered a section. We can then just come here for a more expansive discussion. So we now have a cross reference to section 5.1.1. When we click on it, you will be taken directly to section 5.1.1, and then you can just simply come here to your navigator and just click on this button, and you will be taken back again to the point from where you had jumped to this particular section. So you can use this cross reference as many times as you want inside your document. You will be immediately taken to that particular section that you have cross referenced inside your document. Now you will notice that whenever we are cross referencing, you cannot go to a figure or a table or a heading that does not appear here. So if it's not appearing here, you cannot reach that particular segment of the document. But what if we wanted to reach a particular place in the document that is not appearing in this particular list? So the idea is that you can actually do that quite easily if you were to insert a bookmark, which would mean that we would actually currently, as you can see, this is empty. But if we were to insert bookmarks inside the document, we can virtually reach any place inside the document just simply by clicking on that particular bookmark. And you will recall, a bookmark is nothing but a place that we have named, and therefore this box will start showing you those places that we can navigate to. So let's try this out. So on page 11, you will see that there is a quote, and I want my readers to refer to this particular quote from time to time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to insert a bookmark right here. I'm going to click at the start of this line. As you can see, my cursor is blinking at the start of this line, and I'm going to go to references and click on bookmark. You can also insert a bookmark from here. That's your choice. I will come to reference and click on bookmark, and all you need to do is give it a name and then just simply go ahead and press insert. So when you do that, a bookmark has now been inserted at this particular location, and that bookmark I have named as quote 1. So let us say, for example, I'm somewhere in my document. Let us say I'm here, and I want my reader to look at that particular quote. So because I have inserted a bookmark at that place, I can now cross-reference that particular quote quite easily. So I can just type C, and I can go to references, cross-reference. This time around, click on bookmark. You will see that particular quote appear here. And now you have a few choices here. You can either insert a page number, or otherwise you can use above or below. Let's try this. And I've chosen this particular quote after selecting bookmark. So you will see that it's appearing here. If you add more bookmarks, they will start appearing here. And I'm going to come here and click on insert. So I now have a clickable point here. So I can say C quote by Martin Rees below. So I can just come here and then close the bracket. And when I click on this, I'm taken now to that particular quote, which was previously at a location that was unnamed and therefore unreachable by cross-referencing. But because I inserted a bookmark, it became a named place and I can easily reach that particular location by entering a bookmark. So this is how you can insert a bookmark at any place in the document that does not appear in the cross-reference list of headings or tables or figures. And likewise, you can also cross-reference footnotes. If you have footnotes, you would see all of them here. And whenever you want to insert or cross-reference a footnote, you can come here and just simply go ahead and insert the page number of the footnote or the footnote below or above and insert footnotes, endnotes, etc. So you can cross-reference almost anything inside a document using cross-referencing. And one of the great advantages of cross-referencing, as I was mentioning before, is that LibreOffice Writer then takes care of all the numbering and what is above or below and changes that if the document structure changes. Now we have created a cross-reference. One question is, can we modify a cross-reference? This can happen for two reasons. One is that you want to point this cross-reference to some other location inside the document. And the second is that you want some other kind of text to be displayed here. So can you modify a existing cross-reference? The answer is absolutely yes. The way you do it is that you bring your mouse pointer towards the left edge of this field. If you go towards the right edge of the field, this is not going to work. It's a very narrow field, just covering the number 3. So just bring your mouse towards the left edge of this particular field, right click, and then just simply go ahead and click on Edit Field. So when you do this, you will find that you are now having access to the reference. So I can just point this to table number 2 and then I can choose numbering. This is important because this is what is going to get inserted inside the document. So I'm now pointing it to a different table and then I can just come here and click on OK. So earlier this was being pointed to table number 3. Now it is being pointed to table number 2. So you can modify an existing cross-reference. Just come to the left edge of this gray area, that is the beginning of the field, and then just come here and click on Edit Fields. And you can then just click on the new table that you want to point to. What you can also do is you can come here and instead of doing numbering, you can also choose referenced text. So you might be pointing to a particular table. So what you can also do is to have a different choice in the refer using box. And instead of numbering, say for example, I can come here and choose reference text and let us go ahead and click on OK. So you will find that it has now given the entire caption line and also the table. So we can remove this table and we can just simply come here and click on table number 3, CHG surcharge, which is basically the title of this particular table. Let me also show you very quickly how you can do the same thing for an equation, because there is no entry for equation. If I wanted to point this to another equation rather than equation 2, I'm going to do the exact same thing. Come to the left edge of the field. You will notice that there is a little pop-up that says text. So I'm going to come to the left edge of the field, right click and click on Edit Fields. You will now see that because this is a text cross-reference, you will have to manually click on text. And the moment you do this, you have your two equations. You can point it to a different equation and then just go ahead and press OK. So you will have to manually come here and click on text and then choose an appropriate option from here. In this particular case, I am choosing numbering and I can just come here and click OK. So this existing cross-reference is now pointing to equation 1, and when I click on it, I am taken to this particular equation number 1, and I can always get back to the point from where I clicked by pressing Alt and the left arrow key, and I'm back again to that particular point. So this is how you can modify equations, figures, or tables or references to sections in existing cross references. Now, most of the time, whenever we have created such documents, we share them as PDF files. So if we export this document as a PDF file and export directly as PDF, and when we open that PDF document inside a PDF reader like Adobe, you will see that all these cross references are clickable and available right here. So when you reach a particular segment, you will see that the number and below are both clickable. You can just simply come here and click on this, and you will be transported to that particular figure. If you want to go back to the place from where you had clicked this cross reference inside the PDF document, you have to once again use Alt and the left arrow key to reach that particular location. Remember, we are inside Adobe Acrobat Reader. You can also create a button right here to go back to your previous location. Just right click on any part of this bar here and then go to Page Navigation Tools, and then you can just simply come here and click on Previous View. So when you click on this, you will see a button right here, and when you click on a cross reference and reach that particular location, you can always go back to the point from where you had clicked and then continue your reading as you were doing before. So whether it is Adobe Acrobat Reader or the open source Sumatra PDF Reader, you will always have the Alt and the left button available to you to go back to the point from where you had clicked the cross reference inside the PDF document. So this is how you can create and insert cross references inside your document in LibreOffice Writer, and you can make use of cross referencing to jump from one section of your document to another section, figure, table, endnote, footnote, or a bookmark using cross references. So I hope you found this video tutorial informative and interesting, and I hope that this tutorial will help you get started in using cross references inside your documents in LibreOffice Writer. I thank you very much for watching this video, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.